We're back with our focus on what played out on the floor of the House of Representatives yesterday. Well, we're joined now by Honorable Mohammed Sani, a member of the APC. Thank you for joining us today. And let me start with where I started with Honorable Billa. What explanation can there be for that dishonorable show on the floor of the House yesterday?
Well, there are many, if you like, cross-axial issues that have meditated and premeditated the showing off at the floor of the House. And some of them are actually antecedental, because right from the time, the Speaker was elected, there was jostling for power by the different zones in the area of choosing the principal officers, both in the Senate and in the House. That is the smaller picture. But the bigger picture is that there is even a very big political movement between PDP and APC. The PDP has lost out at the general election woefully, and they are trying to look at a way they can get through the back door what they could not get through the front door during the elections. And particularly, if you look at what happened yesterday, if you look all the people who protected the Speaker, you will see that they are the members of the PDP, and in particular the new PDP. So it's not the issue of the technicalities of the sitting that actually brought this brawl, but it's a larger political issue.
I'm sorry, Honorable, let me jump in now. Let me get some clarification on this. Who or what did you say the members of PDP did?
What I'm telling you, when we came for the election of the presiding officers, and precisely I'm talking about the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, if you know, the House was clearly divided. The end result was that Dogara got 182 votes, while Femi Gbajabiamila got 174 votes. Now, out of this, Femi essentially has majority of APC who chose him, members, whereas Dogara had to go into a kind of coalition with PDP members in the majority, with few APC members that, banded together to elect him, and that's why he got the edge.
All right. Now, I thought you were actually referring to yesterday, but I get that point.
But what I said earlier is that there are historical antecedents to yesterday's sitting. Many meetings have been holding, a lot of juggling, political jostling all over, both from the national level up to our sitting of yesterday. So yeah, there is bigger picture to it than just the issue of procedure of sitting or rule of the House.
Okay. Why did some members, and it comes across as though they were the members who were insisting on party supremacy, why did they jump for the mace and disrupt the session when the Speaker had called for the House to go into an executive session?
Yeah, okay. Again, a day before yesterday, the Dogara supporters, in particular, went for a press conference and challenging the letter written by the party because a particular zone seemed to have been isolated, and that is the central zone. They have not been given a slot. And again, as Mark has said earlier, that there was a purported court case by the Caucus of the central zone, which is also an error because we have not reached the stage of setting up a caucus. I will explain later. So that ignited a lot of jostling through the night. The Dogara group, the PDP group, the APC group, Monguno group, a lot of cliques were meeting, coalition between each other. And there were preemptions that when Dogara comes, he will do exactly what Saraki did. So members came ready, poised, to challenge that. And the speaker himself did not handle the situation very well.
What should he have done?
What he should have done after the prayers, he should have just gone the whole hog in the way we normally do the business of the day. First of all, after prayers, he is supposed to entertain petitions. He is supposed to read communications. He is supposed to do everything before the order of the day stands. Then, if there is a need for executive session, we must have finished with the preliminaries before we go into that. And then when we come back, we continue with the order of the day. Now, with all these presumptions, immediately after prayers, he just said, one of us should move for us to go into executive session. And of course, Mark has explained clearly what executive session means, is that all the sergeant at arms, any visitor in the gallery, all press and media representatives should vacate, and it will be only members who can now face themselves, tell themselves the truth, and deliberate on issues of mutual understanding.
But
so he did not do that because people were suspicious of what they thought he's going to do.
I get your point, but
he just
isn't it a simple procedure, Honorable?
Executive session, then...
Let me put this in so you can respond as well. Isn't it a simple procedure? If a motion, if he calls for a motion, so you can get into an executive session, there can always be a counter motion to counter the motion calling for executive motion, rather than resort to self-help.
It's not according to the rules of the House. No, you can't counter that. Immediately he beats the gavel, it's done, it's done. No counter motion for executive.
Honorable Sani, since you brought in the rules of the House, let's look at the rules of your House as regards the election of principal officers. What do the rules say about election of principal officers?
Well, in general, it says that, and it draws its credibility from the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which says that the National Assembly, both the Senate and the House, can choose their leaders among themselves, that general provision. And the rule of the House stipulates that the two presiding officers will be elected by all members present in the House that day, and then the other principal officers will be chosen by the caucuses. And because of one lacuna, which most of the people are not aware of, is that a caucus can only be formed when you have the complete leadership in place. We keep on calling caucus as a general terminology, but it has a technical connotation, even legal. Therefore, at the moment when we are just convening and we have a large pool of new members who don't even understand the both politics, technicalities, and legalities of the House, and even the interpretation of the rules, it is really difficult to do that. What I expected the Speaker to have done in order to make this thing go smooth, having come from the APC's party, he should, I don't want to call it APC caucus, I would say he could have called the APC section or forum earlier to address them on our internal issues, solve them before we come to the floor of the House to act out this distribution of positions for the principal officers. I'll give you an example.
Honorable Sani, just before you go ahead, Honorable Sani, so if I may come in here.
It's a party matter.
When you say the rules, that means the rules of the House and the Constitution are the materials that bind all the members within the chamber together, right?
Yes.
In other words, nothing else is supposed to interfere with what the rules or the Constitution have to say.
No. There is no mutual exclusivity because there is no provision for independent candidacy in Nigerian Constitution. Okay. Everybody knows that our names were not written on the ballot papers. We came under a platform, And in order to be on that platform, you have signed an undertaking that you will be loyal to the party and that you will go with the rules and abide by the principles of the party. So
Okay, in that rules and the Constitution,
an example to buttress that. So there is no mutual exclusivity like in mathematics regarding that.
okay, Honorable Sani,
just give me 1 minute.
in the Constitution that you quoted and the rules of the House, is there any portion that talks about the party dictating, in quote, dictating how the members or the leaders should be elected?
No, there is not.
There is not. So why is it that the letter written...
say that the party cannot do anything about it. So it's a two-way affair. It didn't say that the party should not do, or it should say it should do. So it's an open question. And the party has been doing it. I can give you historical antecedents.
When Joseph Myers, a moment here. When you
with Mamman Damusa as the majority leader, then the MPN did it. During Bankole and Kogung, the PDP had it. Ete and Ngroje, PDP did it. Similarly, Tambuwal, they did it. So why is it now, because it is not PDP, that it is APC that people are rising bros? It has always been, because technically and legally, the caucus of the House of the parties have not been properly found because we didn't have leaders. That's why the party found its way to guide us in general. And they say, you do this, you do that, you do that. And that's why they do. And if you remember, my colleague was saying, talking about federal character. I think the party is in a better position to look at the federal character because they produce the presidency, the governors, the senators, up to the House of Assembly and the states. And they look at what they have given this and what they have given that and what they do to compensate this and that at various levels and within various cohorts. In that case, they guide us. And by the time the principal officers and the presiding officers are in place, we know the minority leaders in their own, which the speaker cannot do anything about. They will do it even outside the House and just bring their list, like the PDP or PDM will do or whatever. The same thing APC will do it outside the House and just bring for endorsement and we move together. So what played out is the political forces, as I'm telling you, much more than what are the technicalities and legalities of running the House.